Hey folks, Dr. Rowe here. It's the end of Saturday. I've just finished a day's training with an audience, and my good friend Elliot, who many of you know, have been on a 5-day cleanse, juices only, 6 juices a day, I think, has just finished the end of day 5. He's actually in Dubai now, and I suspect he's asleep. But he kindly I sent some questions to him earlier on because I was right in the middle of training, but I didn't want to capture this opportunity to see how he's feeling as he goes through it. Because I know a lot of people start the year, say, well, like, one of the things I want to do is do a cleanse, maybe do a complete flush out of the system. And I thought it'd be great for you to experience that journey with him, but also get some feedback from him as well. So I'm about to play a video. Hi, good to see you. I'm about to play a video now that he sent through. Now, if it cuts off at the end, which it might do, I'll come back and follow this up tomorrow. Main thing here is, just so everybody's watching, when you're going through a cleanse like this, towards the end of it, everybody lags differently. So some people respond after 3 days and their systems start to go upside down. Others, there may be a lag as the system's kind of burning through. And he talks a little bit about the shift action he's noticing in his body, temperatures changing in certain places, particularly his lower back. You'll hear about this in a minute. And sometimes it can be a slight delay before then that kicks in. You get that kind of kickback from the cleansing process. His seems to be on day 5, so you can hear that in a moment. The next challenge, of course, is having gone through this and basically on juices, coming back out off the cleanse. And remember, I can't give you any advice here. So how you have to make the decision about how you want to come back onto solids. But my own personal experience is you just don't dive in and start eating huge amounts. So I've given him a few pointers. Personally, I'm a big believer in coming back maybe through smoothies, soups, because they're liquid, so less strain on the body. I came back off my very first cleanse, which was nearly 20 years ago, coming back through some raw food and even raw soup, which was still cold. He's saying you'll hear him talk about he wants something warm, and I did it in small portions because the stomach will have shrunk down as well. So that's something to be mindful of. I think avocado is a good one to come back onto. I'll mention that to him separately. And then just slowly introducing solids back into the system. One thing I found was my palate was unbelievable. There's a kind of fuzziness as you detox. Actually, I think he mentions that. And then there's this period afterwards where everything you eat just becomes explosive flavors. Okay, so I'm going to play Elliot's video. Be worth you just watching it, and he's given a few tips as well as how he went into this and some of the learning lessons he's had for anyone that's even considering doing this. So if it ends and I can come back to you, great. If it doesn't, I will see you on the next post. Here we go. Elliot, day 5.
Hey everybody, Elliot here. I hope you're doing well. I have just had my last juice, so my 6th juice on my 5th day on the juice cleanse. And myself and Ro was trying to catch up today. He dropped me a message and said, could we catch up a bit later for a live? And I said, Ro, I'm going to be in bed because I am starting to feel fucked now. So he's dropped me a few questions that he wanted me to answer, and I just thought I'd share this with you. Obviously, I know we've gone through the process from day 1 to day 5 now. So I've made a note of a couple of the questions that he wanted me to answer. And hopefully you find this useful for anyone that's looking to go through this or has been interested in it. So the first thing is, what am I noticing most from today's perspective versus the rest of the cleanse? Now, I would say that today has definitely been the toughest day. I've been just looking forward to eating food. I think the juices up until today I've been enjoying. Whereas today, I was ready to eat some solids, ready to have something different to the juices. So I think from a mindset perspective, today's probably been the first day where it's really been, in the trenches, just getting it done and grinding through it. And to be honest, how I felt today is how I was expecting to feel all 5 days. So the fact that I've only had that on the last day has actually been really positive. But yeah, I've definitely felt hungry. There's definitely been some temptations today, and I'm looking forward to stepping out of it tomorrow. Another question from Ro is, am I feeling detoxification, any physiological changes? So yeah, definitely. I mean, from a detoxification perspective, headaches have happened intermittently throughout the 5 days, particularly as I'm getting to the end of that 2-hour window. So I've been having a juice every 2 hours, and as I've got to the end of that 2-hour window, maybe 15 minutes before the next juice, that's when the headaches have kicked in. Yesterday even the headaches were really bad, and this morning were quite bad as well, but as I've gone through the day today, actually that hasn't been too bad. The mouth feels a little bit furry. I don't actually know what that means, whether that's just because it's pure kind of veg and fruit, but your mouth feels a bit unusual. One of the big things that I've seen from a detoxification perspective, physiological, is the lower back. So, from the skin or the fat in the lower back, when that sits there, that is normally cold. And one of the things that has happened over the last few days is it's really warm, which for me means that the fat is now being used as energy instead of just sitting there and storing. And I'm seeing that in the mirror every day as well, where the size. I will weigh myself tomorrow, and I'll share my results with you, how much I have lost over these 5 days. But I can definitely feel that the fat is being used as energy now. As I'm here, I can feel it really warm on the back. Mindset perspective, Rose asking, have I been enjoying it? I think, look, up until today, I really have enjoyed the process. And today, I've been grateful for it, because actually one of the reasons that I wanted to do this, I shared this with you on the first day, is I really just wanted to test myself. And, I always like to push myself in whatever I do, whether it's business, personal life, exercise. And for me, I wanted to do something that I knew was going to be challenging. And actually, I found that this has maybe been a little bit easier than I was expecting, but today was tough. So, the rest of the time I've been enjoying it. Today's been tough, and I am looking forward to moving back onto food tomorrow. In terms of what my plan is for tomorrow from a food perspective, I'm going to have a soup in the morning. So I'm going to go out, going to get my measurements, see what I've lost in terms of weight. I'm craving something warm, so I've got an organic soup going to start with, which I know isn't quite as solid, but is kind of a nice step in. And then the plan tomorrow is to have that in the morning, and then lunchtime I've got some raw veg, so things like peppers and tomatoes, some salad, carrots, a bit of hummus as well. So I'm going to try and get the fats in as well, because there's been really no fat during this diet either. So start getting the fats in. And then in the evening, the plan is to have a soup, but I've also got some things like some chickpeas or some lentils that I'm going to start slowly adding to that soup tomorrow. Because I know that I've lost weight 100%. I can see it physically in the mirror. But what I'm conscious of now is not just doing this for 5 days, which has obviously been beneficial, but then just going back to where it was previously. So it's a process now, slowly, not going up to the calorie intake that I was taking previously. I probably don't need to do that at all, really. So I was going to start gymming tomorrow as well, just some light exercise and just move myself out. So I really do hope you've found it useful. If I could give any advice for anyone that's thinking of doing this, a couple of things really. First of all, I would say documenting it has been really helpful. So when Ro said to me, look, Elliot, would you mind sharing kind of the journey with this, when I dropped him a message asking for advice, I was thinking, I didn't really want to tell anyone about it. I just wanted to just get on with it. But actually, sharing it, documenting it has made me accountable to the process. So I'd say, look, make sure you document it, share it with people, because it does hold you accountable. The other thing I'll do is just try and avoid anything that will allow you to make an excuse. So one of the things that I realized personally, and this may not be for everyone, is that if I was going to go out, have to buy all my own organic veg, juice it myself 6 times a day, and then, take that juice, realistically over a 5-day period, that just wasn't going to happen. I've got a business to run. I've got a 2-year-old that runs around, doing that with all the different fruits and veg that I've taken, just wasn't going to happen. So for me personally, I decided to use a company that actually brought in that produce and brought in the juice kind of pre-juiced and ready to go. So anything that you feel is going to stop you from making it happen, or making you quit halfway through, if you can try and avoid that as much as possible, and just prepare yourself for it. Whilst I've been very positive and talking about it with Ro, there's been tough times, been times when my head has been aching, when I have felt like eating something, but just prepare yourself for that. And just give yourself a reason to do it. So I do hope you found it useful. I will be checking in with Ro. I'll keep him updated on my progress. And if he wants me to share that with you, I'll be more than happy to do that. So thanks very much, everyone. Have a good weekend, and I'll speak to you all very soon.
Okay. Oh, we're back on. It's still live. Brilliant. That worked. Last time it cut off. So hopefully that was useful. I think tomorrow I'm going to find out where he's at. I've just sent him a WhatsApp message with a few pointers. Avocado I found is a really good thing to come back on with, mashed with a bit of banana, soft, and there's a nice mix there as well. Also, avocado mixed into a smoothie, blended with things like kale or spinach, celery in there, cucumber, maybe half a banana in there, possibly with a bit of date in there, and just get it into a nice texture where it's not a green juice. It's actually a smoothie, and that I found was really invigorating as well. But I think the most important thing is if you're looking to do this, make a decision. Follow a structure like Elliot's just talked about, but have the conviction to have somebody you're accountable to check in with. I thought some great tips there from El. Well done for watching this. There'll be probably a couple more to follow this one up. I thought it'd be useful. Start of the year. Happy cleansing for those of you that go and have a go at this. Take care.